So you have the 5 minutes? Yeah, introduction. So you can use your time and use only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You can do that. Please, go ahead.
So my introduction first. My name is Ras Baraka, and on May 13th, 2014, I'll be the next mayor of the city of New York. Mahatma Gandhi said, all through history there have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they seemed invincible, but in the end they always fail. If we look at what's going on in Newark, and especially this county, you'll see that tyrants are still around, trying to dictate who becomes the mayor of the city, who becomes the council people in the city, who becomes county executive in the city, and we have to put these tyrants to rest. This election is about the people. It's not about top down, it's about bottom up. Throughout this campaign, they have been lying on me from the very beginning because this is the only defense they have against the truth. We have been getting endorsements from every labor union in this city, not because we are dividers, but because we fight for workers' rights, we fight for labor rights, we fight for equal wages, we fight for living wages. And we know that jobs and economic development is the answer to reduce crime in our neighborhoods, is the answer for strong families and strong communities, is the answer for strong schools. We want living wages for all workers in the city of Newark, which is why we have labor endorsements, not because we divide people, but because we bring them together. I also believe that we should have local control of the schools, and Shavar is absolutely correct. QSAC is the reason that we don't have local control over the schools. Him and the school board did raise the scores. In fact, before the superintendent came, the scores were raised in 4 out of the 5 areas. But what was failed to be mentioned is that under that same board, the scores went down a year after and a year after that. The state reduced the QSAC scores and used that as a reason not to give the schools back local control. So while the scores went up, they went down the same very year that Shavar and the rest of them stood on the school board. There were no community meetings, there were no special meetings, no parent meetings, nothing to let the community know why these scores were down and why we do not have control of the local schools. So that is important. Crime in the city is a result of poverty and unemployment. Our focus is to create jobs and expand business, especially small business in the community, to put people back to work. It is also a part of the fact that we don't have revenue in the city. The council voted to pass the mayor's budget. The mayor's budget had a reduction of police officers of 170 police officers, and after that, more police officers retired. The South Ward has felt that, the Central Ward has felt that, but guess what? So has the North Ward and the East Ward. And while violent crime is up in the South Ward, so is robbery and theft up in the East Ward and the North Ward. And guess what? Mr. Baraka is not the councilman of the North Ward or the councilman of the East Ward, so he can't blame the rise in robbery and theft on me in the North and the East Ward. What has happened is the very people who voted to reduce those police officers, are on the other ticket. On this ticket, we did not vote to reduce police officers. Though I understand why they did that. I do understand why it happened. I understand why they did it. But the reality is, I didn't support it, and we need to begin to raise revenue for the city over and over again. So police, we need more police in our community. We need more police in the street. We need them to walk the beat, especially in the business areas. But more importantly, and I'm going to close on this, police officers can't stop a 15-year-old boy who has it in his mind to take a gun and shoot another 15-year-old boy because he talked to his girlfriend at a party. That is something that has to be dealt with by the community, by parents, by schools, by community organizations, by people. Police officers can't predict that a kid is going to put a Uzi on his hip and chase another kid through the city and shoot arbitrarily and kill an innocent woman on Irvin Turner Boulevard. That's why we have to talk to everybody that we can. And yes, we have to talk to ex-convicts too, because they also are a part of the solution to this problem. And I don't think that the President of the United States and the Department of Justice has a program like that. In Boston, Operation Ceasefire has a program like that. In Brooklyn, they have MANA. In Chicago, they have something called the interrupters. So this is best practices around the country that people are beginning to see that police by themselves cannot respond to the kind of crime that we're witnessing in our community, that we need a holistic approach that involves the entire community. And we don't have the luxury to say you can't be involved in helping us stop crime in the community because you committed a crime before. If you want to help, then by all means, God get you to help us do the things that we need to do in our community. This is what we're fighting for, bottom up and not top down. That's why I say, when I become mayor, we become mayor. Because ultimately, the people of this community deserve the right to be engaged and involved in the production and the development and the movement of their own city. God bless you.